and you
Awesome.
have about 10 minutes.
All right, great, great. First of all, thank you all for taking time out of your schedules today on behalf of LRM for doing this interview. And thank you for your stellar performances that broke my heart last night when I watched this film. Um,
Thank you.
is very, very well done. The acting, amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, if you guys are all set, I could spring into the questions. We could go, um, maybe start. You guys decide. It's question. Here's questions, and each of you can ask the answer. Take time answering the question, and then afterwards, I'll do a few follow-ups. If that sounds good to you.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Perfect. All right. Now, first off, what drew you to this project, and your roles in Wish You Were Here?
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted something intense. This is a very intense role. I wanted a challenge. I wanted to work with Isabelle and Julia and Gabby. So it was the people involved, but also the subject matter. And of course, when I read the book, I loved it. It is a USA Today best-selling novel, but I don't think a lot of people know about it in a way. So, incredible book, and to get to make it into a movie was amazing.
Awesome.
Julia and I had been working on Orphan First Kill together, and she had been reading the book, and I didn't even know at the time, but she was working on the script. And when we wrapped, she sent me the script, and she said, I would really love for you to consider playing Charlotte because I've never seen you in a movie like this, and I would love for the world to see you the way that I've gotten to know you. And I just was really touched. I mean, I think it's a total departure from the types of roles I normally do. I've never done anything in this genre before. And for Julia, who Mena said earlier is like the queen of this genre, which is so true. She's done so many of these films when she was younger. I grew up watching them. For her to like usher me into it, I just felt like I was in such good hands. And then watching her bring in the cast and bring Mena on and Jimmy and Gabby's been on from the beginning, which she'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, nice. Okay, I like to hear about that.
Work with everybody. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I first read the book in 2016 when I was third wheeling my parents on a holiday vacation.
Okay.
Picked it up at a Hudson News and I devoured it. I devoured the book in 2 hours and it resonated with me so deeply. And I couldn't fall asleep that night. And I messaged Renee Carlino, the author, on Instagram, and I told her, I need to make this movie into a book, this book into a movie. I need to see it on the big screen. I think it can transcend in a really powerful way. And, I had to court her for a little while because I was just some random girl DMing her, sliding into the DMs. And after a while, she agreed to meet with me, and I told her my vision for the screenplay and for the project as a whole. And she was like, "You can try." And I just was so committed. Over the past 8 years, I really I was determined to make this into a film. And in
Wow.
2020, when I first sent it to Julia, having someone like Julia Stiles say, "Okay, let's do it together," it was a dream come true. It was such a pinch me moment that now I wasn't alone trying to make this book into a movie. Now I had this legend and this powerful woman by my side to help me bring it to life, and we did it. And it's been incredibly rewarding.
Awesome. Great answers from you all. Yeah, it's definitely a great film. How similar? I haven't read the book. I became aware that it was based on a book, like yesterday after I finished watching it, and the beautiful shots with the waves and the water and everything. It's such a beautiful film. And so, how similar to the book, without spoiling anything? Are they similar? I mean, it follows your character, Mena, Adam. And so is that story going on in the book also?
Yeah, I would say the book is very similar. It's just with any book, you've got to distill it down because you got 250 pages that you got to distill into 90 pages in a script.
Mhm.
Um, so there's details that you don't see. I think that's the same with any book, but I would say the story is exactly the same. I mean, that's the story of the book.
Yeah, the
Awesome.
messages are the same. It's more so that there's certain things that you don't always need to show in a movie quite in the same amount of detail because it can be said in one line or in one look and something like that.
The heart is the same though
Okay.
throughout. And I think Julia did such a great job adapting the book into the screenplay and allowing each of the characters to be multifaceted and have all these layers that we got to play with as actors.
Awesome. Yeah, there's great chemistry between you all in the film. Did you all know each other prior to making the movie? I mean,
Well,
Not really.
we had never met, but I knew of Mena. I was a fan of his work, and we met really like right before we started filming.
Yeah, we went out to lunch once in LA and then just right on set. Which is yeah, it's a tough thing as an actor because you don't know where your chemistry is gonna be. But I think from what I've learned, doing these films is pretty quickly when you're doing the first scene or second scene with someone. And I knew pretty quickly, doing a scene with Isabelle that it was gonna be um you know, pretty good, like chemistry wise, because I can just tell when you look into someone's eyes, you can tell whether they're there, whether they're listening, if they're thinking about their lines. And she was super present. And I think it made me want to be super present because I was like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever worked with someone this present before on set. So I've got to be really present now because she's right here. So she made it easy, and I'm glad that that translated on screen.
And Gabby and I actually met, funny enough, like I don't even remember the year, but we met at a pool party and she told me about this book that she optioned that she wanted to make into a movie.
really?
And I had told her about something I was working on and we swapped numbers and then kind of like Adam and Charlotte, we just didn't connect and like, we kind of ghosted each other. And then I got offered the role and I said yes. And a couple days after, I'm sitting at home and my phone rings and it's Gabby Kono. And I'm like, how do I have this number in my phone? Who is this? And I pick up the phone and she's like, I'm Gabby, I'm playing Helen. And
Right.
I see the movie, but we met at this pool party and it was just really funny because it felt like a full circle moment, especially because, Julia and I worked together on Orphan, and that's how she thought of me for this movie. And she didn't even like I don't think Gabby and I even like thought that we would maybe I didn't think we would reconnect. And gosh, I'm so glad I
Oh,
did because
wow.
Gabby and I fell in love too making this movie.
Yeah, it's really a love story between Isabelle Fuhrman and Gabby Kono-Abdy. It's like
It is.
yes, Adam and Charlotte, but like really yes.
Yeah, it's a friendship story, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful love story, and it caught me off guard. So great job with that, with the deliveries. I mean, it is. I was watching this film, and when it went off, I was I don't know. I think I said, Alexa, play my music, and it cut on Midnight Train to Georgia, and that added to the
Oh,
heartbreak. I was like, this is really good. All right. Uh,
You were crying all night, weren't you, man? You were crying all
I
night.
had a tough time sleeping. I'm not gonna lie.
oh, I like hate that, but love it,
Yeah,
you
no, it's
know?
beautiful. It's great. I mean, the that mural that kept growing throughout the film, and his voiceover at the beginning and the end, and the imaginary play story that happens in the hospital. I was like, oh man, great
It's
job to you all.
that it hits right in the heart, I really feel like. And I also feel like and that's a testament to Julia. It's the type of movie you could watch over and over. Like, you said this, it's a cathartic film.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Interesting. Well
Yeah,
put. Well put.
we've all had people that have, we all know people that have had cancer or gone through
yeah.
cancer. And a lot of times people don't know how to release those emotions. They don't know how to deal with loss and mourning. And I think this kind of film allows you to do that because you're sitting there and you just can't help but feel things. And I hope people leave the film feeling a little bit lighter after they've, used the film to kind of let out some emotion. So I hope we can do that for people.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you all for your time. When can we tell them to check out Wish You Were Here?
It's in
January
theaters on
17th.
Friday.
Yeah, in theaters Friday.
Nice.
And we'll be on video on demand on February
February.
4th.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we can't wait to get this out. So, we'll spread the word, and I'm glad to see your hair grew back, Mena. I mean, I was like, wow, what's going on in this thing?
I was nervous, man. I didn't think it was gonna grow back.
For real, man. Yeah, it was stylish
Turned,
and all of that.
you turned 30, the man. It's
You gotta
Has never so
get that hymns or something.
yeah.
Nutrafol or
Yeah,
something.
right. They're always emailing me. So, all right. Well, y'all have a great day. Thanks for your
Thank
time.
you. You too. Stay
Thanks,
safe.
man.
Yep, you too. Bye.